Hello and welcome to SirSmuggler's Let's Play, episode 10 of season 2. First thing I want to do today is something I have been putting off for far too long already. I want to build a coke oven. I am playing with Railcraft after all, and sooner or later I want to build some rails, I'm sure, and would be a good idea to have a coke oven then. So we're gonna need 26 of these coke oven bricks, if I'm not mistaken, and I prepared a spot for it right outside the machine house here, because I think this structure is looks best outside. You could obviously build it indoors, but I like to have it outside. So it's this 3 by 3 by 3 structure with one block in the middle left empty, and we got our coke oven. So now we just need to insert coal, and it will start to cook up into coal coke that we can use as fuel, and creosote oil that we need to make rail beds for our tracks. But well, I don't want to feed it coal manually, so I'm gonna have it set up to the same way as these engines here. So a regulator, and hook that up to the line under this chest, so that they all pull from this inventory of coal. So I'll get a regulator and some piping, and I'll be right back. And everything should be up and running now. Let's check it out. So we got the regulator set up to keep 2 pieces of coal inside here, and that seems to be working fine. And I think you need to have this one on top, but I am not entirely sure. I should test that in my test world and find out. So what is left to do now is to get underneath this thing and pull out the coal coke that is being produced. So that goes probably back into that chest somehow. So let me figure that out. And actually, let me show you something you can do with these covers. If you get 8 covers from your handsaw, and need a crafting table, of course. You put those 8 covers like that, you get hollow covers. You can use that to tidy up your piping. So I could put one of those right here. Nice and clean, and lets the pipe go through. And as you see, you get our first piece of coal coke produced, and a bit of creosote oil. So let me figure out how I want to handle the output from this thing, and I'll be back. So I had this filter since my little tries with this setup with the engines, and I think the filter will be excellent for use here. So I'm going to place my filter underneath the coke oven here. Actually not there, I want it right there. And I'm going to tell the filter to only pull out coal coke. And let's hope it's the right orientation here. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. And a timer to make it tick. And this can be set to like No, not milliseconds. So like once every minute should be quite enough, because the production is very slow. Though I suppose for testing purposes we should ramp it up a bit. So if I do that, nothing really happens, and I am not quite sure if that is normal or not. Let's try and hook up this pipe in here. And tick, and nothing happens. Okay, so I'm guessing this one should be oriented the other way around. Like that. Nope. So now he's actually allowing coal to go in from there. Okay, so again, let me test this bit and I'll be back. Okay, so you need to put the filter on the side of the coke oven, because red power systems are kind of picky when it comes to sided inventories. So to put things into the oven, the input slot here, that's the top slot, so I need to have that one on the top. And to pull out from this output slot, I need to pull out from the side. And the bottom can be used to pull out liquids, but I don't have any red power way to do that right now. So it's getting dark, I'm going to go sleep, but then I'll be back to set up the timer for this thing, because I want to use the same timer for both pulling out coal and pulling out cold coke. So I'll be right back. Okay, so if you want to use redstone pulses, you can actually combine redstone with your pneumatic tubing, and you get redstone tubes that can carry a redstone signal. So I could then replace these pipes here between these two, and I'm stuck between these two here, but I want to, this, what's it called? Hello. It's a transposer. And it's kind of hard to hit these pipes. I tend to miss and remove other things. So let's put these redstone thingies here. And I probably need a few more. And through the power of editing, I have them right here. So now it's connected. And not there. Away with you. Like so. So now, how do I get my pulse from this timer to go into this pipe? Well, let's get our screwdriver from somewhere. Here it is. We're gonna need these. Let's just rotate him a bit. Does this one pulse in this direction? Yep. So we can use this thing called jacketed wire. And in this case it's cobblestone jacketed wire. Just take covers, any covers of any kind will do, around the red alloy ingot. And these are also redstone signal carrying cables, but they can stand on their own, and they can connect to these pipes. So as you see now, we get a pulse to the filter and the regulator. And once we get the 2 coal that we want there, everything else is going to bounce back, and hopefully Yeah, right. Seems I messed up a little here. See, they are trying to go back to nearest valid inventory, but since the chest is not directly connected to the piping, but to the through this transposer, the coal doesn't have anywhere to go, so it's gonna jam up somewhere. Yeah, it went right into this filter instead and jammed that, and that's not what we want. So, and also this one isn't pulling out the coal coke because that doesn't even have anywhere to go either, so I need to figure that out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I have a solution. We'll see how it works out. I could just run a tube that goes straight back up to this chest, and that would allow things to go into the chest, but that would mean that things that this guy pulls out, namely the coal, would find its way to the closest valid inventory, and that would always be the chest. So to remedy that position and make the coal actually go to those engines and the coke oven first, and only at the very last resort go back to the chest, we're going to make something called a restriction tube. So you take a tube and a piece of iron and you get a restriction tube. So if I put that one on the chest, like that, it's going to be kind of adding a whole lot of distance to the piping, so that would be considered the furthest away position on the network. So then it will go always to the engines and the coke oven first before it goes back into the chest. Another problem is that if I run the pipe right down here, it's going to connect to the transposer on the side here. But that is what these nifty covers are for. Well, part of what they're for. So if I put that on the side there, it's going to prevent this pipe from connecting. Neat. So let's connect him there instead. And looks like we won't be needing that thing anymore. Well, actually we do. Well, not that one on its own, but we need this red stone kind of tube right there, so the signal can get to where it needs to go. So here comes a piece of coal coke going into the chest, just as we wanted. And you saw all that coal going back into the chest, what was backlogged in this filter here, since that was the only inventory the coal had found to go to. So when everything is supplied with coal as it should be, every time the timer ticks, it's going to pull out one piece of coal and it's going to go around and right back into the chest. So a bit unnecessary, but doesn't really do much. And since this is set up to only tick once every 30 seconds, it's not a big deal. There goes another piece of coal coke. And another piece of coal going up into this coke oven. And landing in the buffer in this transposer. No, regulator. So yeah, I think it's working as intended, finally. It takes a bit getting used to this red power systems. It's really awesome. You can do a lot with it, but it's not incredibly intuitive, let's say. So you need to really think of what you're doing. So let me just tidy up this a bit, and of course we're going to use our covers and stuff. So some covers go on the wall here. No one needs to see that pipe. And let's cover up this with dirt before the cow enters the hole. Don't want any cows down there. Nice. And on the inside we're gonna go with one of those hollow covers. And let's fix that up real quick. Hollow covers. Awesome stuff. And if I can sneak in that one right behind here. Ta-da! You can hardly see that there's a pipe coming in there. Nice! So I just put in my coal in this chest and I get coal coke returned, and I get a steady supply of coal to the engines and the coke oven. Awesome. So let's see, what else do I want to do? Okay, so I was talking about setting up some forestry farms last episode, and well, this coke oven kind of got in the way, but I want to do that next. But that will have to wait for next episode, because I think this is enough for today. So thank you for watching, and I hope you still find it somewhat interesting. And I hope I see you again. So until next time, bye bye!